told there's some real money in the room.
I recently interviewed Ayatollah Marv. Ayatollah Marv, he's a Piru from Compton. He's the oldest living Piru, active Piru, from Compton and in the world. Like literally, he's the oldest Piru in the world. Well, we had a long talk, probably about a 30-minute interview and conversation about his affiliation with the Nation of Islam and his Muslim faith.
Security for the Nation of Islam. Was you part of the FOI?
Yes, sir. Still part of the FOI.
You're still part of the FOI.
I just left the men's meeting in Chicago. We just had dudes from all over the world. Fruit of Islam, Minister Farrakhan called re-registered of all the men of the Fruit of Islam.
Wow.
First time it's ever happened since 1968. Last time that all men's meeting was ever called, Honorable Elijah Muhammad called back the men in 1968. Minister Farrakhan just called us all back in last weekend. So we had brothers from France, the mosques from France, England, Mexico, Dominican Republic. 10,000 men showed up.
What was the occasion? What made them do it?
Re-registering, bringing back the FOI, starting to put the power back into the car. Making the car rerun right, you know. So you have to be seen, have to be, regenerated.
And I remember last time we talked, you told me about, how you were Muslim, how you practice Islam. And you were Sunni Muslim, right?
Correct.
He's a nation Muslim, but he's also a Piru, and he's a proud Piru. And I asked him about being, Piru and being a Muslim. And he was like, that's, what I am. He's banging the street. You know what I'm saying?
So what you want me to,
well, just how do you feel about that?
I don't like it. I don't like it because you can't serve two gods. I understand that you want to hold on to your legacy. I'm the oldest member of Piru, blah, blah, blah. But as a person of the Nation of Islam, a black man that want to, that go out and want to grab the youth, what you're doing is you're sending a mixed signal. And I'm speaking from experience from being in prison, because you have guys that everybody know that when you claim a gang, Blood, Crib, GD, whatever, they come first. Your family members, your blood, all them, that's out the way now because you're committed to this gang. Your loyalty lies with the gang. Now you have a situation whereas you have guys in prison that be like, yeah, man, I'm Blood, or I'm Crip, man, but I'm a Muslim. So now the thing is this, in prison, fights happen all the time. So now when you got Bloods and Muslims meet up on this rec yard with these knives, where your loyalty gonna lie? Who are you gonna ride with? Now let's go to the OG.
So in prison, the Muslims get into the scuffles too?
What? Man, listen, they be, man, of course, man, it'll be plenty of battles where somebody, a Muslim, they get into it, and the brothers got to go see what's going on. Then the other call might be like, listen, man, he got to go, man. He hit my man, he slapped my man, whatever, and we not going for that. Or let him get a one-on-one. So some people are like, now we're not going to do no one-on-one. And then it just go off right there. And man, it's plenty of recorded documents. Listen to the dude, Unique Mecca Audio. He talk about stories all the time. You can go there and see it. Yes, you got to keep in mind, it's be like 300-400 Muslims on the compound. And then you got DC got a big car. You got Texas have a car. You got Florida have a car. And if something go down, you got to be there to protect your people. So of course, and when you bring that up, you got to look at it like this here. Say for instance, a young Piru, right? Mm-hmm. He have a big homie.
Right.
Now, his big homie might call a shot. Say for instance, his big homie say, listen, all these grocery stores, we about to start putting down, we about to start all these grocery stores, all these people around in this area here, they about to pay us. They in our neighborhood, they making this money, so they gonna start kicking back, right? All these drug dealers around here who get money or in certain areas, they about to start kicking in, they about to start paying us. We about to protect this area. The big homie then call his shot. Now, you got the Nation of Islam. Black man might say, you know what? We be in this area, our mosque over here. So we're gonna patrol and protect the area, all the business on everybody. Don't let nobody get it. You can't extort nobody. You can't do none of this here. We're going to make sure we protect our neighborhoods, our people. So now what happens is I'm a Piru, but I'm in the Nation of Islam. Now you got my big homie that called one shot, and you got the minister that's saying this. Who are you going to go with? Who are you going to listen to? Because in the Nation of Islam, they got the minister Farrakhan. He sent word down to the minister, to the FOI, the fruits of the NRI, down to the masjids, and that's what it is. So now you got a conflict of interest. Now, I don't know if the OG, I know he, like you say, he the oldest, but he rep it. So he, that's what I said. That's a problem, because you got them young boys gonna look at it like, well, man, I could be a gang member and be in the Nation of Islam. You know what I'm saying? So and the problem come in at, okay, you're gonna be an active gang member. You're gonna be in this your gang, this your religion. But in that religion, there's structure, and your religion might say, okay, look, we're gonna do this, let's move out. And your big homie might say, nah, look, we doing this. Nah, what you gonna do? I've seen, this is what I'm speaking from experience. I've seen guys in prison that'll be a blood, a crip, on the move subtle with their knives and everything, listen to the cookball. And then later on, if the Muslim get into it with the Bloods or the Crips, now he over here, because you know what they're gonna say? Oh man, that's my homie from my neighborhood, man. I come up with him, man. I gotta go home to him. Man, my mother, he know my family, he know my people. But you just was in the mosque, in the chapel praying with your brothers. You know what I'm saying? So, people look at it like, brothers that pray, they gotta stay together. So now if you're gonna push, I'm repping this gang, you can't tell me I'm with this religion too, because now you're serving two gods. I don't care how you look at it, how you cut it, you banging over here, but then you coming over here to church, to the mosque. That's just a bad signal for the youngsters. It's sending out a bad message for the youngsters. That's just my opinion.
Right.
I get in trouble for my opinions a lot of times.
Well, I mean, you backing it up with facts, and I would have never looked at it from the prison perspective, but as far as scriptural perspective, you know what I'm saying, you can't argue with scripture. You know what I'm saying? You can't serve two gods, no other God before me. And you saying you this and you that. And so I didn't see that point before you brought it up just now. But it makes sense, and I can't argue with it. I'm interested in seeing Ayatollah Marv how he feels about it, because I can see young people being influenced like that, because the Nation of Islam as it stands has a strong hold on black men. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of our stronger gangster black men are attracted to them. And so if I'm already a gangster and I'm seeing the nation and how they moving and I'm liking it, and I come to them and then I see like, oh, you got Pirus in the nation, and it's like, why would I denounce my flag or what I used to be if I can still be that? And so I see the conflict of interest, in other words. You know what I'm saying? But salute to Ayatollah Marv, you know what I'm saying? Anytime somebody's doing something that is helping them in their life, maybe it's worked for him, you know what I'm saying? And so, that's something I can salute.
But see, here's the thing, like I say, look at when on a, what you call that thing? I about to say the Breakfast Club, the Clubhouse. Right. When you hear Whack 100 argue with people, what the first he always say? I put that on Piru. That's on Piru. Right. He screams
on
that.
Piru. That's how he said.
There you go. So a lot of gang members, Piru. You know what I'm saying? They rep their hood, 'cause they let you know, man. And with the other dude, he in jail on Hood. I forgot the young brother. He was on Real Life Streets talking, and he was going at somebody, but he was, I put that on Hood. That's on Hood. So
you talking about Brick Baby?
I think that's his name. So they're gonna rep their gang. Man, that's on Hood. That's on Hood. Because when you in that gang, this is who you loyal to. This is your family right here. So when if your big homie call a shot, you gotta move out, or how they say you gonna be a plate. You food now. You know what I'm saying? So once you commit to this gang, and like I say, the older brother who we speaking on, now maybe he can control it because he's older, but what about these younger generation that looking up to him? Because they're gonna be looking like, man, I'm Piru, but I can go over to the nation. I'm a Nation Islam, I'm Piru. So what about when that minister at that mosque where you go and say, hey, don't go out, go pass these final calls out or go knock on the door, and your big homie said, listen, man, meet us at the park, we need to get together, we're gonna have this. So, you got to pick. And one thing we know, it's documented too that the guys in the Nation of Islam, they gonna pull up. They with the bull too, like, you know what I'm saying? You bring it there, they there. So now what happens is you got a blood, you got the Nation of Islam, you got a face off. What you gonna say, man? Look, man, I'm Piru, but man, I'm Nation too, man. Y'all stop it. Sometimes it goes to a point where you can't stop it. But I done seen guys do this in prison now. They be from here, but they here. I done seen the guys say, you know what, man? This is my homies, but this is my religion. I'm going up top. They just go to the shoe and get away from it, period. Because they don't want to shed blood nowhere. But that's always a problem.
Hey, real tone, there's some real money in the room.